Hey everyone, I'm Wa.
And I'm Chris, and welcome to Docu Sweeties.
We are two longtime friends who discuss the riveting and sometimes trashy world of reality TV and docuseries.
Yes, but through our own lens, which can be salty and it can be bitter, and it can definitely be spicy and hot, and it can be lukewarm. And at the end of the day, hopefully something mildly sweet, but also cold hearted. Cold hearted snake.
Ow!
Honey, just like the Ariana Grande
Uh-oh.
video for Yes and. Have you,
She's
first
a
of all,
lover boy at play.
have you listened to the
Mm-mm.
the Yes and Ariana Grande song that has Mariah Carey on it?
No,
Have you seen the video for Yes
no.
and? Okay, well, okay, great. Anyway, well,
Let's get back. Let's first of all talk about Mackenzie, this disgusting woman.
well, no. Let's also say this is Love Is Blind season 6, episode 4, the
They can
hardest
see
decision of
it.
my
They can
life.
see it. They can
Well, it's
see
just
it.
now you can go, and I wrote this Mackenzie part because God bless her, honey. I wish we got more of her. I wish we did get more of her. You don't
Okay,
like her?
tell us more. Tell us more. I only
She's at
saw her do one of two things: flip her
yes.
hair, put hairspray in it, flip it. And then I thought, oh, is that Laura? And it wasn't. And then this scene.
Okay, Mackenzie, who seems really very tall, and that's her thing. Mackenzie is tall and beautiful, but tall. And by say but tall, to her, that has been an obstacle in her dating. So her whole thing, I think, is that she's tall. You know what I'm saying? That her tallness has been an obstacle. So she's very beautiful. This tall blonde lady has really great hair and good eyeliner, is talking about how like she was like in one of the pods and they were talking about how they both pee in the shower and the pool. And AD hears that and AD's like, I'm sorry, come again? And she's like, no, we pee, in the shower. And like, yeah, no, not a big deal. Showers, whatever. And the pool. And they're like, what what? Who disgusting
AD
farm
does
animal are
everything.
you?
AD is like every black woman when they heard that.
Yeah, they're like,
And then like really calmly is like, no, that's a crime. No,
yeah.
that's it's like I don't wash my legs in the shower. I thought that the suds from the upper part of my body rolls down my legs and cleans as it rolls down. That is what that reads. You pee in the pool? That's inappropriate. Like nobody I don't care how much chlorine is in the water. It's unacceptable. Like if you want to pee in the shower, okay. Sometimes you forget to go to the bathroom before you get into the shower. And are you going to jump out and put your wet butt on the toilet seat and pee and then get back in and then have all that water? Like maybe you're not. But the pool with other people in it, and she's like, "Well, don't pee in the pool that I'm in." And like now I'm like, "Oh, I'm not getting in the pool with people."
Yeah, I hate to say this, but I've always assumed that any pool has had a child in it. And
Well, no, I mean adult pools. Not not
any
not your
pool,
Uncle Billy's pool. Not I'm not talking about that pool.
any pool has had a child in it. Any hotel pool. Did you hear what I said?
I heard you, which now I'm not getting in any. You want
I
to like?
know,
So glad I didn't get in that lazy river. I am so glad. I
but
am never getting in. No, I can't do it. That's disgusting. But
I
an
know it.
adult. This is not a child. This is an adult. So talk. Let's talk more about the adults doing it.
Well, Mackenzie, listen, there might be a reason why she's not on the show. Like maybe this was like this is where they were like, absolutely not.
I
Mackenzie,
need.
who
I need you
we
to
never
shame her
get
more.
we never get one morsel of this person in a pod. Like they don't give her even the dignity to have like a flashback of this conversation with the person. All she gets is her talking about it secondhand just to give AD like the heroine line, which is true because AD is our hero. So
This. This
I
is
mean
the
that's what
TikTok you have
happens.
to do. This is the TikTok. This is the TikTok. You need to take a picture of her talking about it, and then a picture of of 80s head bump of hair and those lashes just like turning at the same time.
Why do I
80s
have to do it?
hair
Why can't
is
you do it?
so crazy. 80s hair is so crazy. And I like I went on Instagram afterwards and she was like, "Okay guys, not too much on my hair." Like black people have been eating
I
AD
know.
up for that hair. And she knows it. She knows it was wrong and that for the culture it was wrong. She says, "Listen, I had to hurry and get my hair done." We were like, whoever
What's it
did that,
called? A
baby,
half
sue them.
out, half or
It's the leave out.
why don't people like it? Because of it makes the forehead too high?
No, it's just her leave out looks bad.
Oh, okay. It wasn't like they didn't like the actual choice she made. It was just
Yeah.
the okay.
Yeah. It's not the actual choice. It is who did that leave out.
Got you.
And then yeah, so it's just anyways. So Sarah Ann comes in and she tells Jeremy that she had a wild dream that she can't talk about. And asks him if he
Sex.
has talks during sex, like conversations. And he's like, no, I don't want to. He's like, first of all, I don't want girls. No girl wants to hear, oh yeah, oh yeah. And she's like, no, I mean conversations. And he's like, if I'm having a conversation, then I'm not like I'm not doing this. And she's just like, I just like to talk during sex. I'm like, can you describe to me the talk you're having? Because I thought it was going to be one type of talk, but this is like, did you take the bread out the oven? Did you remember to empty the trash?
Sarah Ann has such pick me vibes. You know, I think she leads hard with like sex. Like, there's no reason to be like, I had a dream last night. No, I just like had the craziest, wildest dream. I forgot where I was. I can't tell you though. It's like, well, then don't fucking tell me.
It's
You know,
crazy.
like then don't fucking say it. But you're saying it because you want him to be like, wow, Sarah Ann had a sex dream, maybe about me. Sarah Ann, conservative, patriotic Sarah Ann. You know, like it's just like, come on. So anyway, you know, like with a half like a Botox eyebrow dripping down her face. You know, Sarah Ann. All right. So I mean, come on. So basically, he goes. And this part is crazy. He goes, I know the thing about sex is just like it's whatever, but it's just so important to have an emotional connection. And she's like, yeah, it's just like when that happens, it's crazy. And then she's like, what do you think about, you know, girls that are crazy? And he's like, what do you mean? And she's like, you know, I just think like if you're not like a little bit crazy, you just like you don't really like someone. He's like, oh yeah. She's like, just with you, I just feel like I have a freedom to be myself. I can just like be whoever I want. He's like, yeah, you know, uh I just feel like sometimes my feelings for you, I have physical feelings and not so like so much mental feelings. And then she doesn't really hear that more than she just hears, you have physical feelings for me? Oh my God, yeah, the tension has always been there. I'll tell you this right now. It's like without even seeing me, you better know that like it's gonna work out. Like it's so like did you hear the part where he, like, doesn't have a mental connection with you
Yeah.
when you're in a pod where he cannot see you, where he's talking to other people? Like, that's, like, it's I think it's a little bit of a red flag for a man to have never I'm not saying it's something is going off in the connection. I'm not saying it has to be her fault, but I think that there is what they're showing editing-wise is her steering a conversation in such a way to always being somewhat sexual and or superficial conversations, and he being like, well, I don't really have a mental connection with you. This journey called Love is Blind, where we don't see each other and we're just sitting here talking. And that's crazy, if you're going to use the word, for me to think that like you wouldn't, you know, like,
Yeah, it's a lot. She is a lot. And then she goes into the women's dormitory and she's like, I'm gonna marry Jeremy. And Laura, it can't roll her eyes harder. And this is where Laura really comes in with the like her date with Jeremy.
hmm
She's
hmm
like, her voice cracks and he's like, are you crying? And she's like,
hmm
no, I'm not crying. And he's like, are you okay? And she's like, no, listen, what I'm saying is that I usually get stuck on the stupid little things when I'm dating somebody and it pulls me out. Like I'm like, I can't do it. But I made a pros and cons list. And I
hmm
can only tell you right now that the cons list was like 3 things. And I'm sorry for laying it all out for you like this, but I'm, like, "Ugh." And she starts to cry and he's like, I'm really falling for you. But here's the word on the street, Chris, is that he had like a full fiance, a
Yeah.
month, one solid calendar, Gregorian calendar month before he got on this show.
That's crazy.
And that he
That's
even had a
crazy.
house that he had with her. He sold it. So the house that we're seeing, or you didn't watch the rest of it, but he sold his house. So he now has a new house. Now, anyways, so she's like, it's it for her and there's no one else. And so he, I think at this point he's feeling like, oh my God, somebody's super into me. I kinda have
Yeah.
to go for this, like, it's super, super into me like that, and she's
I think
not all
she's
whiny. Yeah.
Yeah. Her facial features seem to still be symmetrically aligned in such a way. So he's like, "Yeah, I think I'm falling for you,
Mhm.
Laura." And just, find myself just wanting to talk to you. Like I stay up at night just thinking about wanting to talk to you. Where I feel like where he was like, and want to fuck Sarah Ann. So
Yeah.
then AD and Clay have a little date, and on their date, they come in and they have a bottle of that blue and white fancy tequila that you see
Like
everywhere.
Casam is it Casa it's not
No, it's
Casamigo,
not.
baby.
I don't think it's that. I think it's something else. It's
Mm,
not 808,
let's see.
just Kendall Jenner's. Yeah, so I'm like, they seem to be able to like just do that. I'm like, is there other food there? There's a bunch of Love is Blind lawsuits and such saying that like basically producers just feed them a bunch of alcohol. So when I saw this bottle of tequila there, I was like, is there 3 pounds of enchiladas to go with that? I mean, where's the food? Like even when they had like,
Class Clase Azul Reposado.
oh, sounds so
That's what it
good.
is.
That sounds
Um,
great, doesn't it?
yes, it does. But wait, there is a lawsuit? Say that again?
Many. Look up Love is Blind lawsuits.
Oh my god.
Yeah, there's like, people saying that like, yeah, that like they are, unfortunately subjugated to a lot of filming without a lot of food and with a lot of alcohol and aren't given breaks in such a way. And so they're like, making weird, horrible choices. I'm not quite sure. So, I mean, that's what I haven't studied the cases. So basically, AD and Clay, like, come together and he's like, you just make me feel like a man, I want to make you feel like the woman you deserve. And just like, I came in here and I didn't know what it was going to be, but it ended up being this, and God did this, and, God bless. And here's this verse, and it's a Bible verse, and he's like, trust in the Lord with all your heart. And I was like, with all your soul, with all your mind. But it's
Yes,
like,
I know that verse. Like, he started reading it, and I was like, "You picked the most common fucking verse
love is
ever."
patient, love is kind. Love is like, I was like, bloop, bloop, like in the
Yeah.
beginning, there was God. I was like, well, Jesus, all right. Did you just open the Bible? Like,
For
it was
God
just
loved
like,
yeah, for God loved his only gave loved the world that he gave his only begotten son. Like, can we just say them all? Like,
yeah.
faith is the evidence of things not seen. Like, faith is the evidence of things not seen. Hebrews 1:11. Like, and just like, come on, let's keep going with it now. Like, you're just ridiculous. He's like, I want to read this verse to you. Mama say, Mama sama makusa.
I
Like, we all know it. What are you talking about?
AD loved it though. AD was
She
like,
loved it.
she knows she's giving all of,
Oh my
yes.
god.
Yeah.
Oh, I love this. I love this for me, Clay. I love you and I love me for it. Yay. Oh, trust
They
in the Lord.
Honey, the Lord got to them on IG and DM and got them on the show. The Lord works in mysterious ways.
Mysterious. So mysterious. So she like feels like I'm at peace, and she like cries because he asks her to marry, and she says yes, and she's so happy. Then we have a scene of Kenneth and Brittany meeting in real life, and I can tell that Kenneth is uncomfortable, and I don't know what it is. I think it's because she's already established that she doesn't want to have sex, and so maybe he feels like he shouldn't touch her because that leads to sex. And I agree to a certain extent. Like, if you tell me that you don't want to have sex, do not touch me. I'm not interested in having petting. I'm not into like I don't understand. Like, it's like I don't understand. I don't understand what we're doing if we're touching, but then like are we edging? Why?
I
Tell
mean,
me more.
I think that people have to have certain boundaries that work for them, and she's on television. But yeah, at first I was like, did he really want a blonde? Like, did he I want like did he I wonder if he just really every time he saw her, sorry, in the pods, every time he like heard her in the pod, did he just Carrie Underwood her? Like just was like, that's Carrie Underwood. I know it is. That Southern voice and that sweet Southern. It's Carrie Underwood. It's Kelly Pickler. It's Kelly. It's got. I know it's Kelly. It's a version of like a young Reese Witherspoon. Like was he
Weiss?
just like
Who? Weiss Witherspoon?
Reese
Oh,
Reese Witherspoon?
I thought you said Weiss.
I don't
Go
know,
ahead.
Diane Weist.
Um,
So I don't know what, like, but yeah, he does. I mean, she's beautiful. She really is. Like, she is beautiful. She has long brunette hair. She has a curvy ass body. She's wearing this like gala kind of like cocktail dress, like, and he's okay. I'll be honest. He's like, do you like my hair? And I don't like the style of his hair, and I feel bad saying that, but I wish that his hair was not this the tiny braids. I'm gonna cut this. I can't cut this out. It's on anyway. That's how
I mean, if you don't like the tiny braids, then that's fine. Do you think he looks like Marcus Houston from Immature?
I do think the braids are a little immature, if you would say that. There's something about them that reads, like little kid,
Well,
like
I mean, he is a middle school teacher, so maybe he's trying to like bond with his
he's
children
already
with their
25. He got, he looks like
he is
he's
a little kid.
45.
Oh,
He
then
just
he's
has,
a little yeah, he is a little kid with the being 25. Um,
no, no.
so yeah, I just don't get it. Like, I just, yeah, it was just an awkward situation with those two. So, Chelsea walks in to Sunflowers and squeals and laughs as is her normal modus operandi. Trevor has a box and he says,
Sorry.
what was that sound?
Because we've gotten into the next phase of the dates as opposed to like spaghetti night and painting night. Now it's all right, you got to give them a gift, I guess, or not give them a gift, but it's gift giving night, and so the gifts are just so specifically interesting.
Yeah, so we find out like that his dog's name is also Chelsea.
That happened. We do that. Like, her dog is also named Trevor, I think. Also, is this what she wanted to tell us? Like, we
I thought she was kidding. I
was
thought that was a
joking.
joke. Yeah.
Okay, well, I don't know, but yeah, no, he really does have a dog named Chelsea, which, by the way, comes up in those texts when he's like, "Guess what? I just got back." When Trevor supposedly comes back, these texts go through like, "Came back. Guess what? My dog died." She's like, "I know, bro. Your
Yeah.
mom told me. I just like couldn't really tell you." He's like, "Yeah," so I gave her that collar. Anyway, she's like, "Great choice."
This, so he feels like he's a good combination of mask and femme. And Chelsea wants to wrestle with him.
I do. I do too. I do too. I mean, the little like minor, like I'd want to know exactly what that rash is before I touched him. But then, like, if you could tell me that it's something that like won't affect me, like psoriasis or
Or
dandruff, I'd be like,
eczema.
I have eczema, so it's like, yeah, I'd be like, okay, I'll be honest, like
If he had a
want
Scottish brogue,
desperately,
I would wrestle with him.
yeah, I want desperately to be pinned, beneath a man that feels bigger than me,
Mhm.
which is like I'm 5'8", which, is like problematic for me. You know what I'm saying? In this world. So having said that, that's where I am. And that's where I'll die.
Okay.
I'm,
So
I'm
then we
being
move
pinned
on.
underneath the big man. Just kidding. Anyway, moving on. Just pretend I didn't say it.
Oh, that's what you mean by it. I thought he was like, anyways. So then we have a situation with Jimmy and Jessica,
Oh, wait,
and
one thing. So Chelsea gives him a bracelet that vibrates. I love this part too. And it's like, because I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, Chelsea, I'm gonna fucking like him. And then the bracelet says something like, your heart is my heart, always our hearts. And wherever I'll think of you forever. I'm like, don't fucking give him this anyway. So she gives him this fucking bracelet that they touch it. It's like anytime you touch it, it vibrates. And I'm like, so how long did you keep this on your wrist? Are you planning to keep this on your fucking wrist? I love that so much. So anyway, he's also like, here's another dumb thing I got. I kept this rock with me like for the past like 10 years. It's a rock with the word love on it. It's like engraved in there, and get it. So if you like feel love, it's like braille. So like love is blind. Ha ha ha. I mean, she's like, I love it, boo. Okay. Sorry. And then we get to, a kind of like the scene that should not have happened that makes Jessica mad. So Jessica and Jimmy then have their like gift giving situation, and it's Jessica giving Jimmy the letter that is who she wrote to her future husband and has kept it the whole time. And do you believe this?
stupid. I
Okay.
mean, I don't even know that I believe it or not. It's stupid. It doesn't matter if it happened or it didn't happen. It is stupid to me. To me. It is. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, you evolved so much as a human being at so many different phases of your life. Like, why would you write a letter that like, if I were to give my future husband a letter that I wrote when I was 23, it would be so stupid. You know what I mean? Like, it would just be so stupid. Could you imagine?
I can't wait to have our 3 kids. Leah Ness, like all like Caleb and all the weird names I wanted to name those kids over the years I never had.
Leoness.
Yeah.
Okay, that's great. Tell me more. I want to know all the names you wanted to name your kids. So yeah, he's like, I can't give you anything back because he doesn't know for sure. So she's like angry, and he's like, she says something like, "You're welcome, bud."
Well, he's like, "I'm so happy you gave me this letter. I just can't give you anything back." She's like, "Yeah, yeah, I'm glad. You're welcome, bud."
Yeah. Because the truth is like, I think in her world, she is just like this hot woman, right? And so in this space where normally it's like love is blind, you go with the physical, he cannot see what he would be so happy to have if it were in real life. One, two, she can't see that he physically isn't worth her time. Like, she cannot see, I mean, like, she can't see Jimmy. So that's
I
better
think
for
her
him.
time is the next part of the season, which is to get to, I think they all kind of want to be on the show.
Yeah. Um, yes, they do. So then she's like, you can't even like articulate how you feel about me, and he's like, well, the way I feel about you goes without saying. And she's like, no, no, I don't accept that.
Yeah.
No, I need you to be able to articulate it, because how am I supposed to know? I was like, give it to him, girl. Give
Mhm.
it to him.
Mhm. Mhm.
She's not, she's like, she's just going in. He's like, I
Mhm.
can't verbalize to you how I feel about you.
Mhm.
Um, so, well, you can't come to me tomorrow, and if I even want you anymore, that'll be something I need. Like,
Yeah.
basically, she walks away from this saying, thanks for nothing. I'm gonna go and think about it. If when I come back tomorrow, I still do want you, then you better figure it out. But I could come back tomorrow and be like, no thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah. She gives him like a sly ultimatum.
Mhm.
And so then he goes, oh, go ahead.
By the way, he didn't give her a gift, and he says he didn't give Chelsea a gift, which is so interesting. I didn't do a gift with anybody. So,
Oh my gosh.
yeah.
Strike number one. So then he goes back into the men's dormitory, and then he like has a conversation with Kenneth, who's already booed up. And
Mhm.
I'm like, why is Kenneth still there? Like, do they just like hang out until like, oh, so they just hang out there. And then he says that he has a lot of fun hanging out with Jessica, and that, he's happy if they
Oh,
can
no, this is Chelsea. He then
you go.
Chelsea. Sorry. So then basically he right after Jessica goes to meet with Chelsea. And he's like, "Listen, Chelsea, I have so much fun every time I hang out with you. You're so lighthearted." She's like, haha. Now she's emotional. Um, all the time. So God bless. He's like, "Yeah, but I'm so happy thinking of our life together, the fun things that we could do together. I'm just not the smoothest, but so it's been a long time since I've expressed the way I feel. So here it goes. But Chelsea, I love you." And she's like, "Oh, holy shit." And he's like, "Chelsea, yeah." She's like, "Holy shit, I don't know what to say." She's like, "I thought you were gonna break up with me." So this is interesting because obviously he just told Jessica that he can't articulate anything, neither yes nor no. Comes in with Chelsea and it's like, "You know what? We have so much fun together. I can just see how we'll have fun together. I love you." It's hard for me to
Yeah.
say. But
The reason
I love
why is because Jessica has a 10-year-old.
you.
And
Mhm.
she doesn't have time for his like man child bullshit. Like, if he's with her, he will have to step up exponentially without any delay. And he's like, I'll just stay with Chelsea because she doesn't expect that from me.
Yeah, plus, I mean, listen, mom or divorced Megan Fox. I'll take a divorced Megan Fox is what he's thinking in his mind.
Mhm.
So basically that is what he says that. She's like, obviously, again aghast. She's like living the best moment of her life, where she like men hate her usually, and she's just like being told left and right how much they're in love with her. She's just like, I mean, she's really living my fucking fantasy, you know? Like, I'm not saying these men specifically, but like, it's just not everyone's fantasy to just like go into Love Is Blind. Like, you know, I'm a horrible princess. So like, if I went onto Love Is Blind, my biggest fantasy like would be like every man falls in love with me, and they just are just like telling me like how much they love me and how much I'm the one for them. I have to like pick between them, you know? Like, obviously, I should be on The Bachelorette. So,
Yeah, I would. That would give me anxiety having to pick. Mm-mm.
Chelsea leaves the date of Jimmy saying that he loves her and goes into the women's area and tells Laura, blonde-haired Laura, that's with Jeremy, Laura, that Jimmy said that he loves her. So then now in a different area of a woman's area, Jessica is there, and Laura waits for fucking Chelsea to leave, and Laura goes over to Jessica and she's like, "Hey girl, you gotta leave." And Jessica's like, "What?" She's like, "I'm telling you because I just want you to like, I want to have your back, and you have to trust me. It's not. He's not for you. You have to leave. It's not going to work out for you. He's not for you. It's not you. Have your dignity. Get the fuck out."
And I didn't get that part because I was like, why is it her having her dignity? Like, why why
Because
leave the show? Why leave the show?
because he had made his decision.
Yeah, but yeah, I get you. I understand what
Oh,
you're saying.
okay,
But what
sorry.
I'm saying is
Uh-huh.
why is that the natural instinct? That's not a part of the show. Just like let the fruition of whatever happened happen. It just feels like we already have now someone else this is the second person who's left the show. And it just feels like, so if you don't get what you want or you don't get the man, you leave the show. Like it just feels weird. Like why not?
I think that Laura maybe also felt, and I'm not quite 100% sure, that he was being shady with not
Oh,
telling Jessica either way how he feels, when Jessica was like, "You're it," and he's like, "I don't know," and then it's like, "JK, I totally fucking know it's this girl," and
yeah.
not let it, you know. And so I think there was like I think that she just like literally was doing a girl code thing. I mean, you know, I think she literally was just like, "Girl, that's what it is." So just so that's what happens, leads to leave on accord. Then we get, you're right, Clay and AD meeting IRL, and she's wearing this like baby blue silky kind of stringy dress. I liked the dress. I like the style of the dress. I wish it was just a different color, like a color that popped a little more. I didn't like the actual just like tone of the blue. But they meet, you know, and they seem really into it. You know, he twirls around, he gets to see what she looks like, because it was very important to him, you know, that like there was a physical attraction. We all knew that AD was hot. So he gets to see, like, you know, my dad couldn't wait for this moment. He just like thought that Clay was just gonna like die when he saw AD. And he spins her around. He says he loves backs, you know. They both say they didn't know each other were dark skinned in the pod. And I just thought that was interesting because when they've even talked about ethnicity, like that's been a moment. But like, yeah, I guess, yeah, they obviously both knew they were black, and then they were both just never had a conversation of like what exact tonal they were. Which, did you find that was interesting? Was that a note to you?
Yeah, no, I don't like to have conversations about skin tone in Black community because I feel like it'd easily go left.
Mm-hmm.
And I think people like have those moments where they're like, "Oh yeah, the fact that he had to mention that she was dark skinned or the fact that she mentioned that he was to me he's not dark
She
skinned."
meant
So
she
to me,
mentioned it.
yeah, to me he's not. But like, you know, that's a war that I'll have with the Black community all day. Um and so for me, I'm like, oh, why is it important? Like, I just don't like it. It's just too much trauma from my childhood to have like conversations with Black people specifically about skin tone. Like when Black people love to describe, like they're like, oh, you know, the light skin one. And I'm like, that doesn't break it down for me because you have a different idea of what light skin or dark
Mm.
skin is than me. So tell me about their characteristics. Tell me like the one with the whatever haircut, the one with the braids, the one with the who, you know, who has the nails. Like tell me something else because light skin, dark skin doesn't do anything for me. I just hate that kind of conversation. So that was weird for me. But I think maybe she was looking for his reaction because sometimes, especially men of his tone, don't necessarily like there's some deep-rooted colorism in the Black community, and he may have had an issue with the way she looked. Like, sometimes I worry that when I date Black men and like, that they're going to find fault with my skin tone because they feel like I'm too dark. And so it's easier for me to date other men who are not Black because their natural instinct isn't to talk about my skin tone.
Mm,
Except for one time somebody did, and I was like, "Oh, no, I don't." Yeah,
yeah.
no, I don't want this anymore. It was like,
Yeah.
mm-mm. I just don't like it. Just it's triggering for me. Um, so then we go back to Jimmy and Jessica, and this is where the showdown is. And she's like, "This is what I needed. This is why I was like, Laura, don't tell her to leave. Like, there's more
Yeah.
to the show. Why should she just cower and run away because he told someone else that he loves her? Like,
You're so smart.
no."
I bet you the producers were like, "No, you go in fucking there. Guns blazing.
Yeah. And then
Prepare your words."
yes. And so then, like, she he comes out and he's like, "Oh, I don't know, and my I don't damn won't say no." And then she's like, Literally, spare me your pity party, please. At the very least, you owe me is 1 single ounce of directness, girl."
And he's like, "Boom."
At this point, I love someone else, and it's hard for me to talk about this stuff because no one wants to break up with someone.
Yeah, it's really hard for me to feel sorry for you. You ruined this opportunity for me. You ruined it. And you should be ashamed of yourself for letting me feel that way because you knew, just like I do, for the right person, I never have to wonder if I was too much. But you knew that I was, and you let me pour my heart out to you more than once. I've made excuses for you. I've told you Jimmy just needs time because I am a lot, and now we're out of time, and I'm leaving here alone, and that was not supposed to happen. I deserved so much more than what you've given me. It's like, oh, that kind of
Yeah, yeah,
it's
yeah.
so entitled, but also I mean, so much of it is so funny to me. It's over the top and
Yes.
every word. It's so good, you
It's
know?
so entitled, but also, like, truly how she feels, and he's like, "Oh, I didn't know how I felt about Chelsea, or I told her I loved her last night." And so
No, no, you knew last night how you felt, so you should have just let me go last night. He's just like, he doesn't know that, like, she's got him, and she's like, "I'm not gonna lie to you. I am absolutely devastated. I'm more than heartbroken. But you know what? There's going to be something better for me, and it is not you. When you realize what you missed out on, you are going to choke. You're gonna choke. You are going to need your EpiPen to open up your airways because you are going to be in disbelief of what you missed out on. Thank you for your experience, and truly, Jimmy, God bless you." Like, she just it's my favorite thing it's obviously, chef's kiss, period, the end. Jessica was like, "That's why I don't leave, Laura. That's why a queen doesn't fucking cower and leave," you know?
yeah, because she knows that she is, to me, she is, like, middle of the road. Most people will find her, from a European aesthetic point of view, attractive. She keeps herself together. She said she was gonna do a get ready with me on TikTok, and I just want to see her without makeup one time. But like, she puts her, she's like news anchor or like host of a show put together all the time. At least on
Mhm,
this. Like, there's
mhm.
something very like
Plastic.
pristine. Yeah, plastic and pristine. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if she's had little bit of stuff just to put things in the right place, but it doesn't look too much.
Oh, she absolutely has. Oh, she
Oh,
definitely has filler. Oh,
oh,
absolutely,
okay.
100%. Not even
What's
not even
going on?
like, "We'll see," like, "Oh, well, I don't know." It's like, "B b b b b."
No, 100%?
Yeah.
Okay. So, like, she, to me, is somebody who is, like, starting this in her 20s so that she will always kind of remain in this, like, frozen frozen place. But she has put this much energy into perfecting her aesthetic. Her
Mhm.
hair was always perfect. Like,
Perfect.
her eyeliner was always perfect. There were just things about her
Sharp.
that was just right. And so she's
Those
like,
strappy
"You."
shoes, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, and all like,
Strappy heels. Ugh,
she,
they were
like
not
she
comfortable.
obviously works out or at least does something, maybe she doesn't, but, like, she is put together in a way that Chelsea is not. In a way that objectively Chelsea could have people who wouldn't find her attractive because of other things, and I think Chelsea's beautiful, but, like, not in the middle of the road, everyone will objectively think that you're pretty type thing, the way that what's her face is, and she fully leans into it and is like, "You're gonna regret it."
Yeah, but I think that the truth of the matter is not every man wants I think that Chelsea represents a certain amount of like ease and comfort that like is really attractive, you know? I think that I think that there's just certain types or certain, folks or whatever. And with Jessica, like
Different
she
strokes,
I
different
know.
strokes for different folks. Like, that's basically
I know. Rule the world. I know. You were just like, you absolutely cannot move on from this without doing it. So basically that's what happens there. She gives her glory moment, and then it's man for man, Trevor versus Jimmy going down for the prize, and that is Chelsea, honey.
Mhm.
So yeah, like Chelsea's gonna have her pick with her slouchy off-shoulder cardigan sweater and her like layered, spaghetti strap tank, between these dudes. Yeah, everyone has a French manicure, and everyone has a French manicure in this season of Love Is Blind. It's unfucking believable. Like I got that it like had a whole moment. It's like when Chrome came back in, when Haley Bieber said the glazed donut nails thing, but like you can tell when that had happened by the like amount of chrome nails that happened in that moment. But this is a French nail moment for them. I think we've already moved past that. Now the girlies are wearing short, square, natural nails. That it's now what the girlies are wearing. I mean, if you see anyone not, I mean, that's what the girlies are wearing, honey. If you see girls with long oval extensions, it's not the look. It's like we're past it. We've moved past it. Anyway, having said that, we've also moved past this episode because we're done. So, having said that, we love you guys so much, and we're going to move on to episode 5 in Greener Pastures.
All right, you guys, we'll talk to you later. Bye.